So today I want to invite you into a practice where we bring more awareness into our three breathing spaces. Oftentimes we may not be utilizing our breathing spaces optimally or efficiently, or that there are certain breathing spaces that we may not even tap into normally because we might be very stuck in our ways and have certain patterns regarding the way that we breathe. Being able to access all three breathing spaces and to utilize them in different ways really helps to, or really speaks to our adaptability of the breath, and also frees up our physical body so that we are able to maximize and breathe in a way that is adaptable, resilient, and helpful for us both physically, mentally, and emotionally. So breathing is such an important part of our well-being that we normally don't really think about. So to get started, come to a comfortable seated position. So you could be seated on a chair, you could be seated on the ground. I suggest that if you are seated on the ground, that you find a comfortable seat such that your knees are below the level of your hips. So coming onto a meditation cushion, or coming up onto a bolster, or even sitting onto a block or some blankets to help give you that elevation is going to help the knees relax down. So once you're here, coming to a comfortable seated position, find length along the spine. Allow the shoulders to relax or release any unnecessary tension that you might be holding onto in the shoulders. And just start by tuning in to your breath in this moment. Without trying to change the breath intentionally, just notice how you are breathing. What is your habitual pattern of breathing? So some things that you might take note of is, how deep is your breath? Or how shallow is your breath? As you breathe in, where does the breath go? Do you feel the breath in the chest, in the middle chest, the belly, or anywhere else in the body? What happens when you exhale? Letting go of any ideas around whether you are breathing correctly or not, just notice how your breath is in this moment. Notice any movements of the body, the physical body, that moves with your breath. Sensing into the temperature of your breath. Are you breathing through the nose or through the mouth? What is the rhythm of your breath? What's the pace of your breath? How long are your inhales and how long are your exhales? So you might just gently count in your head as you inhale and count as you exhale, giving you an idea of the length of your breath. Now that you have an idea of your natural breath, we may start to just add a little bit to that. So what happens if you were to breathe in normally, but just exhale a little bit longer than what you are used to? So we're not being forceful, just taking a little bit longer, even if it's 1 count longer or half a count longer. Setting this new pace or this new rhythm of breathing. So inhaling naturally or normally. Exhaling just a little longer. Perhaps continuing to release any unnecessary tension in the body, or even just noticing where your body might be holding on to tension. Now, maintaining this breath, we're going to invite your breath into your lower breathing space. So as you inhale, imagine you are going to fill up your lower belly. So from the navel, anywhere from the navel all the way down to the pelvis, maybe also into the legs and feet. So imagine you're breathing into the lower area of the body. Now sometimes it might be helpful for us to have some structural guidance as to where the breath is going. So you might turn your hands into sort of like a right angle, if you like, between the fingers and the thumb. And you're going to bring the thumbs behind you. So we're coming to the lower breathing space. So you might, roughly be around where the navel area is, just underneath the rib cage, around the waist area. And so your forefingers are in front, pointing towards your navel, and your thumbs are behind you on your back. So turn around, you can see. And then from here, so we're not really trying to squeeze in with our hands, we're just lightly containing the lower breathing space so that as we breathe in, you can feel with your hands and also your body getting feedback from your hands where you are filling up into the lower breathing space. So as you inhale, imagine the breath going all the way down to the lower breathing space. Feel that lower breathing space expand. And then as you exhale, feel that breathing space gently draw in, and maybe there's a lift of the breath or a gentle drawing in and up as the breath is released. So you might stay here for a few rounds just to feel into the lower breathing space. Now understand that as we're breathing in, we're not just trying to inflate the belly. We're imagining that there's spaces, if you can imagine there's a balloon inside that you're trying to fill up. And so you're expanding not just from the front of the body, but you're also expanding into the sides of the body and also out into the back of the body. So you're expanding all the way around. So let's do a couple more breaths here, breathing into the lower breathing space. Breathing out from the lower breathing space. Sensing into the feedback from the body as you fill up that space. And just getting familiar with what it feels like to breathe in and out from the lower breathing space. Again, nothing is forceful here. Continue to inhale as you normally would, but taking just a little bit of time or a little bit longer for each exhale. Finishing your last full breath here. You can release the hands. You can roll them out, give them a shake. And just notice how it feels if we were continuing to breathe into the lower breathing space, but this time without the hands to guide us. Just notice whether you can continue to stay connected with your lower breathing space. And as you feel ready, we're going to tap into the middle breathing space. So here you can think of the middle chest area all the way around the ribs and towards the middle back. And we can do the same with the hands again. And we're going to bring the hands, actually we're going to bring the thumbs just underneath your armpits and point your fingers or fingertips towards each other, just around the chest area where your fingertips meet your breastbone. Elbows are out to the side, sitting up nice and tall. And again, there's just a gentle drawing in to give you a bit of feedback. We're not trying to really, squeeze in, but there's a little bit of drawing in with the hands, so you can feel your hands here. And then breathing into the middle breathing space. And then just notice what happens. Space above the navel, into the rib cage, to the heart, the lungs. So this time our belly lightly won't inflate so much as we're going to contain the breath in the middle area. And just like before, we're going to imagine there's an expanding out from all directions. So the front of the body, the sides of the body, and into the back body as well. And just notice what sensations are available to you. Focusing the breath in the middle breathing space. Do another 2 to 3 more breaths here at your own pace. Again, just a natural or a normal inhale, but a lengthening of the exhale. Again, nothing forceful. And staying with your breath. Finishing your last complete breath here. Then you might allow the hands to relax down. Feel free to roll them, the wrist out, or give them a shake. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's stay with the middle breathing space and see if we can continue to access and sense into this breathing space without the hands guiding your breath here. So sometimes imagery could help, so even visualizing your middle breathing space expanding in all directions and then gently releasing back in as you exhale. So inflating or expanding outward all around the body and drawing in as you exhale. Let's do a couple more breaths here. And as you're ready, we're going to come into the upper breathing space. So from the upper chest all the way up through the neck and the head. So here, we're going to just place the palms onto our shoulder blades and the elbows are pointing up. So from the back, it's going to look like this. If it doesn't feel good to have your hands on your shoulder blades, you might even reach them up. You can have the elbows bent. See what feels right. So sitting up nice and tall, lengthening along the spine. Now we're going to focus the breath in the upper breathing space. Again, nothing forceful here. You might gently hug the belly in to support you to find length along the spine. Again, filling up into all directions of the upper breathing space. Tapping into sensations of the upper breathing space. Noticing whether movements are easy or hard as we move through the different breathing spaces. Let's do one more full breath here. Gently release the arms and give them a shake. You can roll out the shoulders. And continue to stay with your breath and continue to feel into the upper breathing space. Again, feeling that expansion all around the body. So the front, the sides, the back. Perhaps we might try a little exercise here. As you breathe in, see if you can fill up or focus mostly on the lower breathing space. So you're going to take an inhale into the lower breathing space and then exhale from the lower breathing space. And then you're going to move up to the middle breathing space, taking a breath in, expanding the middle breathing space and exhaling from the middle breathing space. And then inhale from the upper or into the upper breathing space and exhale from the upper breathing space. So give yourself a moment and then come back, lower, middle, upper. So we're just going to continue to alternate between these breathing spaces. Now you may not do one breath each. You might want to stay a little longer. So you can play around and see whether you want to stay for 2 breaths, 3 breaths, or even 5 breaths in one breathing space before moving on to the next one. Again, maybe anywhere between 1 to 5 breaths, and then up to the upper breathing space. Again, 1 to 5 breaths, just to see what feels good in your body, and just continue moving through the 3 different breathing spaces. And all the while maintaining steady breathing, natural flow of breath. Notice if you're rushing through, and see if you can stay with the rhythm that you had established at the beginning. Gently extending the exhale. And if the different breathing spaces don't feel very distinct for you right now, that's okay. Continue to visualize as you're breathing into the breathing space that you are wanting to activate or to focus on, even if you're not quite sure whether you're feeling a difference between the different spaces. As we continue with this practice, the sensations will get more subtle, you'll get more sensitive to the different sensations of the breathing spaces. And also there's going to be more movement into the different breathing spaces as we focus on them. So be patient. If you're not feeling the differences between the different spaces today, continue to do so and visualize or imagine that's what you're doing. Now you can continue to feel into the different breathing spaces for as long as you like. So feel free to pause the video if you wish to stay here for a little bit longer. But otherwise, we're going to come into sensing into all of your breathing spaces. So from here, you're going to bring your palms together. And you're going to interlace the fingers except your middle fingers and your thumbs. So you're gonna come to a hand position like so. So all the fingers are interlaced except for your thumbs and middle fingers, and they're touching each other. All right. You're gonna bring the tips of your thumbs towards your sternum, your breastbone, and your middle fingers towards the base of the neck. So you can feel like where the two collarbones come together, there's a bit of a dip. So you can place your middle fingers right there. So sitting up nice and tall, you can very gently drop the chin down so that the crown of the head points straight above. And now breathing into all three breathing spaces equally. So feeling that expansion of the whole body here. So feeling expansion in the front of the body, the sides, the back. Sensing into all three breathing spaces. Staying with the rhythm of your breath. Again, never forcing the breath. You're more than welcome to stay here for as long as you like. You may even release the hands at one point and continue to sense into all three breathing spaces. Whenever you feel ready, you can allow the awareness of the breathing spaces to fall away and just stay with your breath. And just feeling, how is your breath flowing in this moment? Sensing into your body, and feeling into how your body is feeling in this moment. And staying here for as long as you like. Whenever you feel ready, gently open your eyes, hopefully carrying this breath forward into your day, into the next activity and the next activity. And know that you can always come back to your breath. Thank you and take care.